In this QDS training video, you'll learn how to add a ranking type question. For items where respondents will need to rank more than one choice, you'll use a data element with a ranking response type. This feature was added in QDS version 4.0. We'll get started by selecting the data element from the toolbar, and next we're going to want to add our text of question. And for this example, we're going to use, please rank your top 3 exercise activities. We're going to ask them to select response buttons in order from 1 to 3 and require them to rank at least 1. Next, we need to add a variable name, which will say activities. And for the label, we'll call it activities ranked. Next, we're going to need to go over to the response type drop-down box, and we're going to choose the absolute last choice here, which is ranking. And then after that, you're going to want to go to the last tab, which is the response set tab. So once we click on that, that opens up our options, and we have the description of category box, which this is a bit similar to adding choices for a check each. Once we click on that and open it, you'll see we have the rank item box. You may notice we have a variable name suffix here in the box, again very similar to check each, and the default starts at A. Generally you can just leave that as it is. We're going to add a choice of walking, and then we'll add an additional choice of running. Once you've added all of your choices, it'll look something like this. Next, we need to consider our options. Here we have different options than we would for a check each. We have maximum number of rankings. You could opt to rank or to allow to rank all items, but for here we only want to allow respondents to rank the top 3. So we're going to click the other button and change this to 3. We can also change the minimum required, which we actually only want to require them to enter 1 choice. So we're going to go ahead and click that other radio button and select or enter a 1. You're also going to want to make sure and select or unselect any special codes that you do want to allow. After you've done this, you can go ahead and select OK, and you'll see the ranking item in the element listing. Next, if we want to go ahead and test this out, we can use the preview feature, also added in QDS version 4.0. And you can see our video on that for more information. For now, we will go to Tools and then run Preview to start the preview session to see how the new activities ranked item looks. Once Preview opens, you can see our question and then rank your selections. The first item you select will display a 1, and then 2, and then 3, and so on. Now you'll notice since we're only allowing 3 choices, now everything else is grayed out. If we want to start over, we can click the clear button and make new selections, or we can also just unselect the lower options and then reselect to also change our options. And you may notice that you do need to have at least 1 item checked to enable that next question button. And once we are finished selecting, we can go ahead and click the next question button to complete our preview session. Similar to check each data, ranking data is saved differently from some other response types such as pick 1. In the saved data, you'll have the following variable names and variable labels for our example. Here we have our variable name activities with each choice having the different suffix as we mentioned. And for the labels, you have those choice labels that we added. For the data set, if in our example the respondent had selected running as 1, walking as 2, and swimming as 3, the values written to the data file would be as followed. Since we ranked 3 choices, our composite variable, that is just the core activities variable, will have a value of 3 because we ranked 3 choices. Our first choice will have a value of 1. That was the running. And then our second choice, walking, will have a value of 2. And our third choice that was ranked third will be swimming with a value of 3. Any choices that you did not rank will have a value of 0. Again, similar to check each type responses, component variables, that is activities A through activities E choices, will be listed at the end of your data set. That's all for this video, but to learn how to add additional types of responses, see QDS Online Help or other Design Studio videos.